this afternoon. A very warm welcome to Mr. Deepak Jain, who is joining us from Delhi for his session on this art of happiness, which we also know as happy quotient. We call it as happy quotient also as well. Jain sir, apart from LMM members, I can see joining us few young generation also with us. So they too will be listening you for your motivational talk. And it is my, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce Mr. Deepak Jain, who is basically a company secretary and of course a motivational speaker also. I'll request Mr. Jain to kindly put on his camera if he is there. Mr. Deepak Jain. Prabha, can you hear me? I don't find Mr. Deepak Jain on the screen. जैन साहब, क्या आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं? मुझे लगता है कुछ कनेक्टिविटी का इश्यू है. So once again, welcome Jain sir. Now I can see you on the screen. Can you put on your camera? Jain sir, can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry, it got disconnected.
Yeah, I can feel it. There's all glitches, internet glitches. We can feel it. Thank you for rejoining us. Once again, very warm welcome to you. I was just welcoming everyone and trying to put few words about you. Mr. Jain is basically a company secretary and who has also turned to be a motivational speaker. Mr. Jain is also founder of Vijayash Foundation and L&D organization since 2016. Mr. Deepak Jain has been vice president and company secretary of Unitech Limited. He has also been chairman of Gurugram chapter of Indian Institute of Company Secretaries from 2007 to 2009. Mr. Jain, of course, is a profound reader, writer, and a passionate motivational speaker. Mr. Deepak Jain is a member of Management Committee of ISTD Delhi and also member of Management Committee Noida Management Association. Mr. Jain, if I'm not wrong, you're also life member of IMA, All India Management Association.
Yes, of course.
That's great. Great to be associated with you. And Mr. Jain has addressed earlier also a session with the Lucknow Management Association. As we were just talking about, he joined us 3 years back in 2019, as he rightly said about it. And Mr. Jain, of course, has addressed more than 500 sessions for his motivational talks on different topics during the last 10 years. So these were the few words about Mr. Jain, which I could place briefly before you. And now I'll request Jain sir, of course, let me share it with you since you are disconnected for some time. Apart from LMA members, we have some young generation also with us who will be listening to you and will also be getting few lessons out of your this motivational talk. With these words, I once again welcome you one and all, and very warm welcome to Mr. Deepak Jain. And with these words, I hand it over to Mr. Deepak Jain for his motivational talk. Over to Mr. Jain, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for all those nice words. I really thankful and grateful to the Lucknow chapter of All India Management Association for giving me this privilege to speak before all of you. I also welcome and appreciate all the audience, all the participants who are participating in the session, sparing their valuable time. I hope and I know I will give my best. We will have a good interaction. मेरे ख्याल से let me speak for around 40 to 45 minutes, and then we can discuss among ourselves the
Of
topic.
course, yeah, Jen sir, you have 40 to 45 minutes with you to deliver your session, and then we'll open for 10 minutes for Q&A.
Okay, yes,
Meantime,
great, yes, yes.
meantime, listeners can also post their questions. Jen sir, if you agree, can post their
Yes,
they can
yes.
post their questions in chat box, and
Yes.
ultimately you will be directly also be responding to their queries and questions.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Then, sir, we also have two psychologists, two professor of psychology with us.
Okay.
Who have joined us.
Okay.
I just thought to share it with you.
Psychology is my favorite subject. I read a lot.
That's why I have gone through your profile. Since I have gone through your profile, so
yes,
I can see two senior professors from the psychology from Lucknow. Now over to you.
Yes. So I would like to share my screen. शायद गलत शेयर हो गई, एक सेकेंड. Screen is visible, sir? My screen is visible?
नहीं जन साहब अभी कुछ आया था Zoom live करके, but that was not the right thing I feel.
Okay.
अभी तो nothing is visible here. We can just see ourselves, the participants.
Yes. Let me.
But the screen sharing has been allowed to you.
I can see Mr. Jain.
Now you can see?
नहीं मनोज साहब अभी स्क्रीन तो नहीं दिख रहा है जन साहब का, स्क्रीन शेयरिंग तो नहीं हो रहा है.
अभी आप दिख रहे हैं, उससे पहले वो दिख रहे थे मिस्टर जैन जब वो स्क्रीन पे थे.
स्क्रीन शेयरिंग किया हुआ है ना? Yes, I have confirmed, Jan sir. Screen sharing has been allowed to you. It is with you. Now it is there. Now we can see to it. Yeah, it is there.
Okay.
Art of happiness. Now it is there. Please carry on. Please carry on.
Yes. एक सेकेंड, इसको पूरा करें एकदम बड़ा. So friends, happiness is a very crucial term for India, because in a recent survey, and not only recent, year by year survey, it has been noticed, observed, found that India is one of the least happiest country in the world. So it is a very relevant topic for us to discuss, to deliberate how we can derive happiness in our life. And as we all know, it has been agreed between various psychologists, humanitarians, spiritual leaders, that we all live for happiness. What is the purpose of our life, if we say? So it is happiness. We all live for happiness. We all need happiness to live a good life. And then now, how to get this happiness, and what is the meaning of happiness to us? And if we say that happiness is our purpose of life, it is the goal of our life, and normally we used to say that human beings live for others. So if I ask, is not it selfish that we are living for ourselves only, for we are working for the happiness of ourselves only? We are not talking about the happiness of others. Any answer to this question? Is it selfish to live for happiness?
It's our work to live for happiness. It is our birthright.
Pardon?
Only if we are happy, others can be happy with us.
It is our
very right.
birthright to live for happiness.
Yes, yes, it is our birthright. But Madam said well that if we are happy, then only we can make others happy. So, in fact, in a research, it was found that what are the qualities of people who live happy and what are the qualities of people who are unhappy. So the people who are happy, their qualities are they are more sociable, they are flexible, they are creative, they are loving, they forgive others, they are open, and they help others. And the people who are unhappy, they are self-focused, they are socially withdrawn, and their quality is they have a feeling of opposing others, antagonistic feeling. They do not like others. So in that sense, it is good that if we find happiness and live a happy life, because if we live happy, then only we can make others happy. That is why we can say that the purpose of our life is happiness. The goal of our life is happiness. And when we search for happiness, if I found happiness, we learn in process that it offers benefits not only for the individual, myself, for the individual's family, for my relatives, friends, society, for my city, my nation, and for this world also. So your happiness can lead to the happiness of this world. It is such an important topic, important quality, important virtue, important attribute for us, that we must learn to live a happy life, because our happiness can make this world happy. And if we are not happy, we are spreading the vibes of unhappiness, and nobody will gain out of my unhappiness. So it is a very important topic.
Then, sir, we are not audible.
I'm not audible. Okay. Hello.
Sir, you are audible.
I'm audible.
He was audible. He was audible.
Yeah, I'm audible now.
Yes, yes.
अभी
पहले भी सुनाई दे रहे थे, अभी भी सुनाई दे रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छे से सुनाई दे रहे हैं.
जी. Okay. So so far, any views? Anyone would like to share any views so far, or let me move to other slide. So if we now if we move forward and discuss to gain this happiness, so first step is training the mind for happiness. We need to train our mind, my dear friends, for getting happiness. Bhagavad Gita has said a very good statement. For one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends, but for who has failed to do so, the mind will remain his greatest enemy. So it is very important for human beings that we should control our mind. And as we said, and as it is said, that happiness is a state of mind. We need to develop, we can develop a state of our mind which always remain in a state of happiness. And that can happen only with the help of training and disciplining our mind. भगवद गीता का रेफरेंस आया है, तो मैं ये एक बात जरूर कहना चाहूंगा कि 15 years ago, when I was not on this path of spirituality, I was not aware about about Gita, about its lessons. We used to listen about Gita from various Gita part, etc. But unfortunately, Gita, we were not able to learn those actual real lessons, self-realization lessons of Gita earlier when we were young. Somehow, because there are various lessons of Gita which has been taught when we are young, which are not what should I say, that these are taught by various Gita parts, but for example, the main lesson of Gita, as I understood at present, is self-realization, that we need to recognize ourselves. We are human beings. We have the power to awaken the God within us. These type of lessons, self-realization, unfortunately, is not popular among the society. Normally, we have learned to do various rituals, but not the real lessons of Gita. So, my dear friends, our mind gets affected from various movies, newspaper, TV serials, society voice, etc. And when these all voices gets recorded in our mind, we can, with the help of training, with the help of meditation, with the help of positive affirmation, train our mind that in every situation, my mind remains in a state of happiness, joy, cool, calm, and peaceful. While sitting in meditation, doing positive affirmations, we can train our mind that whatsoever happens in my life, I remain cool and calm, and then in a state of happiness. We can train our mind with the while in sitting in meditation with the help of positive affirmations, that in every situation my mind remains in a happiness state, because it is all in our mind. Happiness, we can derive happiness by controlling, by training, by disciplining our mind, which normally gets influenced with the various talks, with various talks from the society, from media, from etc., and it gets disturbed. So the first learning is that we need to train our mind for happiness, which normally gets disturbed with the various talks, various voices, various media, various movies, etc. And then now I will discuss the essentials of happiness, which thoughts, which life skills are necessary for our happiness. Goals and purpose in life. Fixing and achieving our goals brings a sense of accomplishment. Science shows that people who are optimistic tends to be happier and healthier. Having a purpose in life can help us deal with stress, be happier, and even live longer. These benefits are far-reaching and can change our life for better. So friends, the first principle to my mind is that we need to have some goals in our life. In the management also we learned that we need to have SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. If we have some goals in life, our life remains happier. If we do not have any goal, any purpose, any spiritual, any professional goal and spiritual purpose in life, we may not be that happier. Virtuous life. Aristotle, one scholar, Greek scholar, Aristotle said that happiness depends on the cultivation of virtue. Virtuous behavior requires moral values and character which satisfy ourselves and give us satisfaction and happiness. Virtues are important because they are basic qualities necessary for our well-being and happiness. So, my dear friends, I believe and I understand so far that if my mind remains full of various positive emotions, various virtues, various moral values, we can live a happy life. If we do not have the virtues, or if we have some other qualities which are against virtues, against morality, against a good character, it is difficult to live a happy life. I consider my mind so far, which I understand after reading, that our mind is like a holy instrument. If this holy instrument is full of negative emotions, is full of emotions which are not expected from a good human being, it is difficult for us to live a happy and healthy life. Developing a state of mind having positive emotions like love, compassion, humanity, empathy, etc. gives us happiness. A state of mind having negative emotions like anger, frustration, greed, resentment, jealousy, hatred, insecurity, fear can never give us a happy life. And my dear friends, these all negative emotions, anger, frustration, greed, resentment, jealousy, if we introspect, we think, we observe that my mind is full of these negative emotions, we should learn to get rid of these emotions from our mind to live a happy and healthy life. And this we can do by living a spiritual life, by doing yoga, by doing pranayam, by doing positive affirmation, by doing meditation, and getting rid of our mind of these negative emotions. If I get irritated again and again, if I feel frustrated from life, if I have complaints, grievances, so it is difficult to live a happy life. To live a happy life, I must have the qualities of a good human being, like love, compassion, humanity, empathy. Relationship, humanity, and spirituality. If we make others happy, it keeps us happy too. This is a well-known fact, my dear friends. If my deeds makes other happy, I also feel happy. If we maintain good relationship, it makes us happy. If I am having good relationship in my family, in my society, in my relatives, in my friends, I remain happy. They also feel happy. Bhagavad Gita, Dhampada, our scriptures said that we are born to serve humanity. If we harm others, even in our thoughts, it never gives us happiness. If in my thoughts, if I'm thinking, doing ill wills to others, doing something wrong to others, it is difficult to get happiness, because again, our mind is a holy instrument, and these unholy thoughts cannot give me happiness. And this has been very well said in all our scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Dhampada. Dhampada, we all know it. Dhampada, in the teachings of Gautam Buddha, we call it Dhampada. So relationship is very important for human beings. If we have good relationship, we all know we feel a happy life. And if you are not having good relationship, we are not able to make others happy, particularly our family members, our society, our in our office, our colleagues. This continuously disturb my mind, and it is difficult to live in a state of happiness. And this is, to my mind, this is spirituality, that we are taking care of others, we are making others happy, we are helping others, we are doing something for them. This is, we can say, spirituality also make us feel good, happy. Success and self-realization. The essence of Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads is self-realization. After living this journey of spirituality since last more than 10 years, in fact 12 to 15 years, I understand that the essence of all these scriptures is self-realization. That if we are not able to find ourselves, अगर जो हम अपने आप को नहीं पाते हैं, ढूंढ पाते हैं, अपने सेल्फ को रियलाइज नहीं कर पाते हैं, सो लाइफ में हैप्पीनेस एंड सक्सेस पाना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट रहता है. So it is very important that we attain self-realization. If we are able to find ourselves and achieve self-realization and get success, we can achieve happiness. So getting happiness, it is important that we find ourselves. हम अपने potential को पहचाने, हम अपने आप को पहचाने, that we are human beings who have huge potentials, and they have the potential to do something good for themselves, for their society, for their nation, for this world. Cursing our past. There is a statement that sometimes I used to say to myself and to others कि काश ऐसा होता तो मैं खुश रहता, काश मेरी लाइफ में ऐसा हुआ होता तो सब कुछ ठीक चलता. If I were a doctor, if I were an engineer, if I were an industrialist, if I were a politician, if I had good education, if I had have my education from premier institute, तो शायद मेरी लाइफ खुश रहती, मैं सक्सेसफुल रहता. If I'm not happy with my background, past and upbringings, I cannot remain a happy life. So it is very important to get rid of those thoughts that there is a question we will discuss definitely later on. Yes, comparing ourselves with others lead to miserable life. Sometimes we compare ourselves with others कि सामने वाला अच्छा है, he or she is doing good. We always used to say that my problems and sufferings are unique. Many times we used to say that my problems and sufferings are unique. In fact, 15 years ago, I also used to say these points कि मेरी sufferings मैं इस तरह से रहता हूँ, ऐसे आप नहीं रह सकते, something like that. In fact, many times it is our adversities that makes us successful, a good human being, and we get real happiness. We can find various stories, my dear friends, that few people who faced adversities, the worst adversities in their life, and then they become successful, a good human being, and they got real happiness. I remember one girl in India, her name was Arunima Sinha. She was an athlete. She fell down from a moving train. Some antisocial elements pushed her. She fell on tracks. Her legs got imputed. उसकी टांगे खराब हो गई जब वो ट्रैक पे पड़ी रही सारी रात, हॉस्पिटल में गई. And after 3 months, she decided after on the bed. Earlier 3 months, she was thinking कि भगवान ने मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों किया. And later on, she decided to climb on the Everest, and she did it. वो ये कर पाई, एवरेस्ट पे चढ़ पाई after facing that adversities. And not only Everest, she was able to climb on other peaks also of the world. So sometimes our adversities makes us successful. Consciousness, enlightenment, and moksha. These are very complex technical terms, but we need to understand these terms to live a good life. We need to develop ourselves toward a consciousness state of our mind. What is the difference between consciousness and unconsciousness? Unconsciousness state of mind, for example, that if I learned something in my childhood while I was young, various thoughts from the society, which are not true. For example, if I faced sufferings in the hands of society, in the hands of my elders, and my mind develops a thought that human beings are not good. Yeah. For example, a spouse faces problems with another spouse, and we develop that males or females, husband or wife, whatever, we develop some other thoughts about spouses, and our mind become unconscious about the trust, that we should not trust others, something like that. We have various past sufferings in our life, and we make our life on the basis of our past sufferings. So we become unconscious. So it is very important that we should live our life with consciousness, having past removed from our mind, sufferings, casualties, whatever. Sometimes we learn so many things in our past which are not good for our happy and healthy life. So we can develop a state of our mind wherein, while we sitting in a meditation, where we do not have any thoughts, we can develop doing breathing, yoga, meditation. That is attaining a state of mind which is free of sufferings, free of complaining, free of criticism, free of grievances. It is difficult, but we can develop this with the help of practice. That hey God, I do not have any sufferings, I do not have any complaining, I do not have any criticism, and I am free of grievances. If human beings can attain this stage of mind, we can definitely live a happy life. True happiness we can derive if we can attain this stage of mind. मोक्ष की बात हम लोग कई बार करते हैं कि जैसे किसी ने बोला कि यार डेथ के बाद मोक्ष मिलता है, but Gautam Buddha got moksha in this life. So I also believe that we can get moksha, enlightenment in this life only, by freeing our mind from all the sufferings, complaining, grievances. मेरे को लाइफ से कोई ग्रीवेंसेस नहीं है, कोई कंप्लेन नहीं है, कोई सफरिंग नहीं है. दिस इज आई कॉल मोक्ष. मेरे को मोक्ष मिल गया है एंड आई अटेन I got enlightenment. So we can, if we can develop this, we can surely live a good, very wonderful and a happy life. And of course, we need to learn some life skills. For example, it is very important. We all know that we should live in present. I already discussed the robbers of time, our past and future. हमारे time को खराब करते हैं. We all know we should bless the past and forget it. Bless the future. We should forgive others. Unforgiveness is the most prolific cause of disease. It may harden our arteries and liver. If we do not forgive others and have resentment feeling from others, it is difficult to live a happy life. Love others. What man says of others will be said of him, and what he wishes for another, he is wishing for himself. There is peace on earth for him who sends goodwill and love to others. We call it spiritual wisdom. So these life skills, we should learn these points, that we should forgive others, we should love others, help others as far as possible. A very interesting study I found some years ago. We all know that India is the least, India is one of the least happiest country in the world. And also India is the most, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. So in a survey, it was found few countries. I have named few countries: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 countries. These are least corrupt countries of the world. And my dear friends, you will find that these are the countries who are the most happiest countries of the world. So Aristotle said that building virtues can lead a happy and healthy life. So India is one of the least happiest country. शायद इसका reason ये है कि हम सबसे ज़्यादा corrupt हैं. We have less virtues in our life. Although we are the spiritual country of the world, we have the great scriptures, Gita, Dhampada. We have the great spiritual leader with us, Mahatma Gandhi. But still, Gautam Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi, Gita have failed to awake our consciousness, our spirituality, and we are the least happiest country and the most corrupt country. This is a very interesting relationship between corruption and being happiness. So, my dear friends, we can have one question that after learning about happiness, after learning about enlightenment, consciousness, how we can attain that stage of mind. So I had developed a process of self-development, which this process of self-development has been mentioned indirectly in our scriptures, including Gita. Friends, there is only one solution to all our problems, sufferings, failures, that is to develop ourselves. We need to develop ourselves, self-develop ourselves to take care of our problems and sufferings, our failures. Nurture and nourish our body, mind, and soul continuously to live a happy and healthy life. We need to continuously nourish our body, mind, and soul to live a good life. We all know how we can nourish our body, mind, and soul. With the help of yoga, breathing, exercise, we can develop a good body. We all know. My dear friends, spirituality की हम बात करते हैं. Let me tell you from my reading so far, it is very difficult to attain spirituality without doing yoga. Yoga means, we all know, union with the nature, union with the universe, union with all the human beings. Yoga is a stretching exercise. When we stretch our body, it unlock our blocks in the body, and the energy flow continuously, which leads the flow of energy leads to a healthy body. And we all know a healthy body keeps our mind healthy. So yoga increases our physical, mental, and spiritual energy. So this, by doing yoga, by having a good health body, this also contributes to my happiness. It improves my energy. It helps in sleeping, mental health. It enhances my mood and feel good. Yoga connects me with the human beings, with the society. It improves our quality of life. So after taking care of my body, my physical body, I need to take care of my mind. How to take care of my mind? As I discussed earlier, that we need to decide some goals, spiritual and professional goal. Professional goals, that I need success, professional success. Spiritual goal can be that I can have a goal that I want to be a good human being. This leads to acquiring qualities of a good human being. Doing meditation, doing mindfulness and positive affirmations, reading great books, self-help books. Reading books helps us nourishing our mind, enriching our mind. हमारी body का food क्या है? That we should have nourishes good food. ऐसे हमारे mind का food क्या है? Good thoughts, good books. Reading really helps us. Buddha has said some good quotes about mind. The mind is a powerful thing. If you filter it with positive thoughts, your life will start to doing positive affirmations really helps, my dear friends. I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. Saying continuously, repeating good thoughts, doing positive affirmations in the morning before sleeping, it really helps me. I remain cool, calm, and peaceful. I'm full of confidence. I'm full of divine energy. All good things happens to me. It really helps, my dear friends, doing positive affirmations. In fact, if I repeat continuously to my mind that in every situation I remain happy, I will definitely start happiness to my mind after some time. Reading books ignite my mind. Books nourishes my mind. Books enriches my mind. It is very important that those persons who read books, they never feel alone in their life. Neuroscientists have discovered that reading good books improve brain function on a variety of levels. It enhances the connectivity in the brain. So there are various benefits reading books. I was reading once a quote that those who reads, they live 1,000 lives. Those who never reads live only one life. So it builds your character. It imparts knowledge. So many points for reading. I have also given a list of illustrative books. And spirituality, soul. My dear friends, we need to nourish our body, mind, and soul. How the soul can be nourished? By following a path of spirituality, humanity, by helping others, be kind towards others. have positive interactions with others. Whenever we do some good acts, my dear friends, as per our scriptures, or we can do it, it helps me in my inner. Whenever I do some good act, it satisfied me. I feel a level of satisfaction in my inner self, and this keeps me satisfied and happy. Sometimes we may not realize it, but it is true, as has been said in our scriptures and all the great spiritual leaders of the world. So body, mind, and soul, if we continuously nourish our body, mind, and soul, it keeps me healthy and contributes to my happiness and a good and in fact a great life. So the self-development process, my dear friends, I recommend this process for nourishing my body, mind, and soul. Let us do it for some time. If you do not, if you do not find results, let us do it more sincerely. It happens, my dear friends, do happens. Gita is all about, if we hold out till the end, victory is assured. Victory over yourself is assured. If you are not happy with our mind, with our life, it was because I was not able to control myself. There's no self-control over me. In fact, all the scriptures and Gita said that अगर जो मनुष्य ने अपने आप को कंट्रोल कर लिया, अपने सेल्फ को कंट्रोल कर लिया, तो वो उसने सब कुछ कंट्रोल कर लिया, दुनिया को कंट्रोल कर लिया. And if we can control ourselves, there is a self-control, then only I can live a good, happy, healthy, a great life. So this is all what I want to say. We can now discuss questions, and we can also would like to have your views on the topic.
Thank you, Mr. Jan. We have a couple of questions in our chat box. I can find two questions from Ayush, one Mr. from Karsh also. Can you go through, or shall I reproduce before?
Yes. One is from Ayush Mishra. How
Yeah,
to love
please take it.
ourselves? How to love ourselves if a person is filled with woe, regrets, and nihilistic thoughts? My dear friends, first of all, you have to get rid of these thoughts to love yourself. As I said, what do you mean by nihilistic, Ayush? Can you write or speak?
Ayush, you can speak. Yeah, please carry on.
Yes, sir. So my question was that if a person is filled with regrets of his past and he's not able to forgive himself, how can he forgive himself? So because I think that time heals everything. This statement is a myth itself. Because time does not heal, sir. It just, I think just lessons are regrets, that's all. But how to love ourselves, sir, if he is full of regrets? That's my question.
Yeah. So, Ayush, first of all, you have to find the reasons that, for your regrets, whatever you have done in your life. If regrets means that if I have not able to achieve something good in my life, मैंने कुछ गलत decision लिया, तो I want to say that first of all, you have to get rid of those thoughts from your mind. Whatever happens, जो आपका past है वो आपका past है. हो सकता है मैं आपको explain ना कर पा रहा हूँ. आयुष?
Yes, sir. My actual question, or rather I should say that the crux of my question is that we can simply forgive others. A person who is suffering through depression, I mean that he can forgive others because he does not care about the world anymore, but how can he forgive himself? That is my question, sir.
Similarly, if you need to forgive others, because if you do not forgive others, you will not be able to live a good life. And unless and until you forgive others, you cannot move to your path of success. And of course, you have to forgive yourself also. If you have done something wrong in your life, you have to forgive yourself. And this we can do with the help of meditation. Sitting in a meditation, in a meditative state, you can continuously repeat to your mind that whatever happens happens. जो past में हुआ मैंने अपने आप को माफ कर दिया, मैंने कोई गलती करी, मैंने अपने आप को माफ कर दिया. And I at present I am regrets free. My mind is free of regrets. My mind is free of all those thoughts, all those sufferings or whatever wrong decisions. This you can do by continuously repeating to yourself. By doing yoga and spirituality, breathing, do breathing exercise, do meditation, do yoga. So slowly your mind will be in your hand. Your mind will not have those regrets thoughts, those negative thoughts, all those kinds of thoughts. So you need to do practice by to train your mind to get rid of those thoughts. This can be done with the help of practice, my dear friend, with the help of yoga, breathing, pranayam, meditation, and read some books. If you thought कि मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, start reading some books. This will help you to get rid of these thoughts, and definitely you will start to love yourself. You will realize one day after some time yourself. अब अपने आप को realize कर पाओगे. थोड़ा सा आप पढ़ना start करें तो धीरे धीरे एक्चुअली क्या है, हमारे माइंड में सोसाइटी से डिफरेंट थॉट्स चले जाते हैं. उस थॉट्स को हमको बाहर निकालना पड़ता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ मेडिटेशन, स्पिरिचुअलिटी, योगा, ब्रीदिंग एंड ए गुड रीडिंग. आयुष कुछ कहोगे आप? आयुष कुछ कहना चाहोगे?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, this
Is
only
it fine, Ayush? So now can we go to next question, Jan sir?
Yeah, do not you think that happiness, एक second. Sir, don't you think that happiness has also been related to materialistic condition of a man? नहीं sir, ऐसा नहीं है, my dear friend. It is not like that, because you know, industrialists they are also not happy. In the last, I am a company secretary. I do speak on good governance, and I found that in India there are various industrialists who have gone bankrupt. There are various companies who went bankrupt. In the boom time, they were on the peak. They did various misregularities in their record. They went bankrupt. And in India, there is a record that 50,000. The scam fraud record is on an average every year there is a scam of 50,000 crores. So जिसका पेट भरा हुआ है वो भी खुश नहीं है, because he does not have wisdom, because he has not learned spirituality, because he has not learned Gita in the true sense. So ऐसा नहीं है कि जो materialistic, जो जिसके पास पैसा है वो ही खुश है. आपको पता है ये बात कि पैसे वाले भी सुसाइड करते हैं और इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट भी गलत काम करते हैं. अभी आप देखें, अगर जो आप गूगल पे सर्च करें तो many industrialist CEOs, they are behind bars and facing various investigations from the government authorities. तो ऐसा नहीं है सर. कुछ कहना चाहेंगे सक्सेना जी? अनिल सक्सेना जी कुछ कहना चाहेंगे सर?
सक्सेना जी, क्या आप सुन रहे हैं? Would you like to say something? चलिए, we can go. सक्सेना जी म्यूट कर लीजिए अपने आप को. शायद आप बोल रहे हैं.
अनम्यूट.
अच्छा, मैं क्या कह रहा था?
अनम्यूट कर लीजिए. या नाउ वी कैन हियर यू.
मैं ये कहना चाह रहा था कि हैप्पीनेस इज नॉट ओनली रिलेटेड टू द पीपल हु हैव गॉट एवरीथिंग. एक गरीब मजदूर, एक किसान, जो करोड़ों आदमी जो सवेरे से शाम तक काम करते हैं, अगर घर लौट के आएंगे, उनको खाना नहीं होगा, अगर उनके पास रहना नहीं होगा, उनके पास मकान नहीं होगा, उनके बच्चों के इलाज के लिए पैसा नहीं होगा, हाउ डू यू थिंक दैट ही विल गो yoga and meditation and keep himself happy? Or the number of people, industrialists are very less in India. If you get 80% people are working class people who don't have this type of thing. हम लोग एयर कंडीशन कमरे में बैठ के बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं स्पिरिचुअलिटी की. You talk to a रिक्शा पुलर, एक talk to a मजदूर जो कि आता है सवेरे से शाम को फुटपाथ पे सोता है, उसके पास खाने को पैसा नहीं है, उसके पास बच्चों के इलाज का पैसा नहीं है. Do you think that he will be happy by doing this? Do you have a time for this yoga and spirituality so called? This is the difference between the Indian philosophy and Western philosophy. And that's why जो आप कह रहे थे corruption की बात कर रहे थे, is it totally related to the one of the poorest country of the world? We are developing, we don't say that, but we are having more poor people than industrials or secretaries. How many secretaries are there? How many industries are there? How many Tatas are there? So, sir, my only submission is that we can have good happiness, but if you don't have food, you don't have shelter, you don't have money, then everything goes to drain. This is my only question. But thank you, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate, Saxena Saab, I appreciate. First of all, let me accept this fact of the life that in India, India is the most unequal country in the world. जो हमारा पैसा है, it is concentrated in the hands of the top 5% of the people, in the hands of industrialists, and the 5% people own the 80% of the wealth. But
Yes,
my
sir.
dear friend, but sir, मैं इस बात से वाकिफ नहीं हूँ, इस बात से सहमत नहीं हूँ कि जो एक मजदूर है, जो एक गरीब आदमी है, वो खुश नहीं, वो मतलब बिकॉज वो भूखा है या उसके पास मेटेरियलिस्टिक वस्तुएं नहीं है, वो खुश नहीं रह सकता. बिकॉज लेट मी टेल यू, मैं एक बात आपको, एक फैक्ट बताता हूँ. अभी रिसेंटली मैं अपने घर पे रिनोवेशन करा रहा था, तो यू नो हम सबके सब जो है, जो चाय पीते हैं, की चाय पीते हैं, चीनी कम डालते हैं. तो मैंने मजदूर की चाय में भी मेरी वाइफ ने चीनी कम डाली, या डाली ही नहीं, कम डाली. तो मजदूर ने ये बोला कि हमको ये डायबिटीज वगैरह नहीं होता मैडम, हमारी चाय में आप ज्यादा चीनी डालिए. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि वो जो मजदूर है वो अपनी हालत पे खुश है.
नहीं साहब, ये इतना खुश नहीं है, मजबूर है, मजबूर है.
नहीं सर, मजबूर नहीं सर, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. इट इज अ स्टेट ऑफ हैप्पीनेस. सक्सेना साहब, जस्ट लिसन टू मी. आपने अपनी बात कह दी, जस्ट लिसन टू मी प्लीज. मैं अगेन एक बात आपको रिपीट करूंगा. जो हैप्पीनेस है, ये जो है एक हमारे माइंड का एक सोच है, थॉट है. ये एक स्टेट ऑफ माइंड है. अगर जो मेरे माइंड में ये थॉट है कि सामने वाले के पास पैसा है, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, मैं खुश नहीं हूँ, सामने वाले ने मेरे साथ गलत किया है, गॉड ने मेरे साथ गलत किया है, तो मैं खुश नहीं हूँ. तो लेकिन मजदूर ये बातें नहीं सोचता है सर. Let me tell you, I have good interaction with the various poor people. My organization, Vijay's Foundation, we did various sessions in the slum area, in the children homes, etc. उनको ये तो रहता है कि काश हम भी बच्चों को खासकर कि हम भी सक्सेसफुल बने, बट वो अपने हालात में खुश है. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पीपल, गरीब पीपल,
ignorance. This is ignorance. This is simply ignorance. This is simply ignorance.
Saxena sir, I'll share number of Mr. Deepak Jain with you. You can have interaction, one-to-one interaction.
Thank you. Okay.
चलिए आगे चलते हैं.
Thank you very much.
आगे चलते हैं. Let us move forward.
Let's move forward to the question of Mr. Manocha. Mr. Manocha जी का क्वेश्चन है, प्रश्न है एक.
मनोचा, अच्छा जी. तिलक कुमार मनोचा.
How to achieve the state of zeros, infinity of mind, to be हर हाल में खुशी.
Yes. As I said, जब भी आपका जो माइंड है कभी भी डिस्टर्ब होता है, डिप्रेशन में होता है, अगर जो आप 10 मिनट के लिए ब्रीथिंग एक्सरसाइज करें मॉर्निंग में बैठ के, तो आपका माइंड जीरो होना शुरू हो जाता है धीरे धीरे. अगर जो आप ब्रीथिंग एक्सरसाइज करते हैं एंड कंसंट्रेट ऑन योर ब्रीथिंग, आप ब्रीथिंग पे कंसंट्रेट करें, उसी पोजीशन में बैठे, तो धीरे धीरे माइंड से थॉट्स निकलने शुरू हो जाते हैं. और अगर जो आप योगा करने के बाद ब्रीथिंग एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, तो लेट मी टेल यू माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, इन दैट स्टेज ऑफ माइंड आपके माइंड्स में थॉट्स, आपका माइंड जो है इट बिकम्स जीरो विद द थॉट्स. you do not have those thoughts at that moment, and with the help of practice doing daily yoga, meditation, positive affirmations, आप एक इस ऐसी स्टेट को अचीव कर सकते हैं कि you get united with the universe, with the nature. You can take yourself to, जैसे for example when I do meditation, I believe that I am sitting on the Kailash Parvat, and my mind does not have any thoughts that time. So with the help of yoga, spirituality, meditation, positive affirmations, we can achieve a state of mind where we do not have any thoughts. हम कर सकते हैं सर ऐसा. And with the help of visualization, imagination, after achieving that state of mind, we can do visualization and imagination, seeing ourselves, our goals को देखें उस visualization में, imagination में, and our goals becomes achievable in that stage. Yes, Mr. Manoj, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
थैंक यू सो मच। अभी
कहना चाहेंगे?
ये था ना कि आसक्ति और विरक्ति, ये दो बातें हैं। कर्म से ही हमको आसक्ति भी होती है और कर्म से हमको विरक्ति भी होती है। तो विरक्ति होगी तो हमारा पॉजिटिव थॉट्स जाएंगे और पॉजिटिव वे में जाएंगे, और जब हमारे आसक्ति हो जाएगी तो हम, जैसे इन्होंने कहा कि गरीब भी जो है खुश नहीं रहता। एक छोटा सा अगर आप कहें तो मैं सुना दूं कि
जी बताइए।
एक राजा के दरबार में एक बहुत गरीब आदमी था, उसको राजा हमेशा खुश देखता था और राजा के पास अथाह संपत्ति थी। तो उसने कहा कि मेरे पास इतनी संपत्ति, अपने वजीर से कहा कि भाई ये जगह है, ये तो इतना खुश रहता है गरीब होते हुए, उसके पास पैसा नहीं है, तो क्या कारण है? उसने कहा ठीक है, आप पूछ लीजिए, आप इसको इनाम दे दीजिए कुछ। उसने 100 अशरफियाँ या $100 उसको दे दिए और धीरे से वजीर ने $1 कम कर दिया। तो उसको घर में लेके गया तो बहुत लोगों ने कहा कि भाई ये तो 99 है जब गिना। तो हर आदमी जो है 99 से 1 के चक्कर में है, वो उसी में दुखी हो गया। तो जब तक हम हर चीज के लिए वो हैंकर करते रहेंगे तो तब तक खुशी नहीं आएगी। और जब उस चीज को, माइंड को पॉज देने की बात है, माइंड को जहां तक मैं समझा हूँ, या हम भी थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं
जी
को अचीव करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो उसको माइंड को पॉज कैसे किया जाए, अल्टीमेटली मैं समझ रहा हूँ। माइंड जब पॉज होगा तो देयर विल बी नो थॉट्स।
Yeah, pause. As I said earlier, Miracha ji, mind pause हो जाता है जब हम योगा एंड ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज करते हैं। When we concentrate on our breathing only, the mind gets paused. हम अपने माइंड को एकदम अपने दिल पे ले जाएं, हार्ट पे ले जाएं, ये जीरो हो जाता है with the help of breathing and meditation. Pause का मतलब आपका यही है ना, without thoughts.
हार्ट चक्र से ही तो हम अनकंडीशनल लव को स्प्रेड कर सकते हैं।
जी,
उनके क्वेश्चन के जो हमारे प्रीवियस वो थे मेंबर, उनका
जी
तो हम जो चीज हमारे पास है उसमें खुश नहीं होते। जो चीज हमारे पास नहीं है, जैसे उसके पास $1 नहीं था तो वो बेखुश हो गया, मतलब
यस
जब उसके पास नहीं था कुछ भी तब खुश था।
जी इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, वी शुड काउंट आवर ब्लेसिंग्स। जो हमारे पास है उसको काउंट करना है, जो नहीं है उसको काउंट नहीं करना है। If we count what we have, we feel good. If we count which we do not have, we feel sad. So it is important to count our blessings. It will flourish. If we count our blessings, it will flourish.
Yes, thank you so much. हम blame दूसरे को करते हैं, but we create our own psychosomatic impressions.
Very true.
Right,
very true.
Very right, sir. Any other questions, sir? Any other questions?
There was I think 2 questions by Utkarsh also.
Whatever is coming in our life, that is my own creation. But okay, thank you so much.
Utkarsh, sir, I think that along with corruption, the growing population is also a major cause of. No, growing population is not a cause of unhappiness. Is a cause of poverty, of course. But how we can say that growing population is a cause of unhappiness? And my dear friends, happiness depends on me, on myself. Happiness doesn't depend on others. If सामने वाले बंदे की वजह से मैं खुश हूं या दुखी हूं, it doesn't matter. Happiness मैं अपने डिसाइड करता हूं अपने अंदर कि मैं in every situation I remain happy. तो सामने वाले की वजह से कि मेरी लाइफ में वो बंदा आ जाए, वो बंदा चला जाए, मैं खुश हो जाऊंगा. This is not happiness and unhappiness. So happiness depends on me, my inner self, and I don't think growing population is a cause of unhappiness. It's only a cause of poverty. Yes, Utkarsh, कुछ कहना चाहोगे आप?
उत्कर्ष का एक और इच्छा थी कि जो आपने पब्लिकेशंस स्क्रीन पे दिखाए थे वो एक बार फिर से डिस्प्ले कर दें.
Yes.
This was his last question or statement, what I could see in the chat box. So I'll request you, Jain Sahab, to kindly display once again for the benefit of all. the publications which you quoted, which you have mentioned for the happiness part. And meantime, I'll,
Yes.
if permitted, I also want to raise one question. Jansab, how do you perceive, or what do you have to say about spirituality as such? What is your perception about spirituality? I would like to listen few lines from you.
Yeah, spirituality is not that, I mean, we being I mean, a person can be religious, but he may or may not be spiritual. So spirituality is that we love humanity. We love human beings. We have thoughts of love and compassion. We have thoughts of humanity, kindness. We have a peaceful mind. My mind is free of anger, frustration, greed. Those thoughts, that is spirituality, that I love others, I love humanity, I rejoice in the success of others, I feel sad in the sufferings of others. So this is spirituality, which is like followed by the God. Am I right?
The general perception, एक आम धारणा ये होती है कि spirituality is considered to is always attached with the religious या धर्म से जोड़ के उसको देखते हैं,
इंडिया
उसी
का,
संदर्भ
ये
में
हमारे
बात करते हैं।
ये भारत का दुर्भाग्य है कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी को गलत सेंस में, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया कि गीता को भी हमने गलत सेंस में लिया है। जब हम यंग थे, कॉलेज में थे, तो हम गीता को समझते थे कि इट इज ए स्टोरी ऑफ कृष्णा ओनली। गीता इज नॉट ए स्टोरी ऑफ कृष्णा। गीता is about life, how to live this is a good life. So spirituality is not religious. A person may or may not be spiritual if he is religious. Even you know, a terrorist is a religious person. A terrorist एक religious person है, but he is not a spiritual. So India is 98% people in India are religious, but we have various frauds, scams, unrest, protest, murders, so many things. The newspapers are filled with various things. So spirituality is that I have control over myself. Myself. I love humanity. I love others. If I hate human beings, how can I say I am spiritual? If I am spiritual, that means I am like God, and God never hate human beings. So I need to awaken a Krishna, a Rama, a Buddha in myself. For example, Buddha definition of Buddha is that to awake ourselves towards a good life, towards humanity and spirituality. Yes, any views to that, sir?
Any more question? I'll request.
I don't have any question, but I would really appreciate the ideas which were expressed by CS Deepak Jain ji, and I would also like to share my understanding about happiness.
Yes,
I would
please.
say that the equation which we have created perhaps is the major cause of our unhappiness. We just think that when we have our filled stomach, or when we have good clothes, and when we have materialist possession, then only will be happy. Even a person who is a laborer can become most happy, because when he
Very
comes
right.
back home, and even if his stomach is not full, but if he gives some food to his children, or brings something for the family, it creates a lot of happiness. And
Very
it is
right,
the right equation is that happiness is there in us. जैसे कि रामायण में कहा है ना कि कस्तूरी कुंडल बसे मृग ढूंढे वन माही, जैसे कि मृग ढूंढता है सब जगह, लेकिन उसके अंदर अपने अंदर नहीं देखता. So that is my understanding about happiness, that it is has nothing to do with our possessions, our food, or the clothes that we have, the facilities that we have, but it is there something which is inside us. And we Indian are enriched with the understanding of Bhagavad Gita as shared by Deepak Jain ji. So it is a great knowledge which we can use for making our country the happiest. Because there is a diversity of people. There are rich people, there are poorest of the poor people, and the people of different religions background. So what is the science that we can possess? It is there ingrained in Gita. So that's my humble understanding about happiness. Thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity to express my views. Thank you.
थैंक यू मैडम, थैंक यू। आपने शायद सक्सेना साहब की क्वेश्चन का भी जवाब दे दिया।
हाँ जी, मेरा थोड़ा से विचार थोड़ा भिन्न था, तो मैंने उसको उस तरह से समझा कि कभी कभी हम खाली पेट रह के भी बहुत खुश होते हैं और कभी कभी भरा पेट होके भी हम दुखी होते हैं। तो ऐसा शायद हमारी जो इक्वेशन क्या है वो डिटरमिन करेगी कि हम कितना खुश हैं। Thank you.
Any more question from our viewers or listeners?
And I would like to have any other views also. जैसे आपने बताया कि कुछ psychologists भी.
Before I request Professor Manju Agarwal, she has joined us from Amity University. Before I request her for her closing remarks, any more question, please? Before I hand it over to Professor Manju Agarwal for her closing remarks.
एक और मैंने क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है, रिलीजन और
जी मनोज जी बताएं।
रिलीजन और स्पिरिचुअलिटी की बात थी, तो आई फेल्ट दैट वेयर स्पिरिचुअलिटी स्टार्ट, दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रिलीजन एंड स्पिरिचुअलिटी। थैंक यू सो मच।
नीरज कपूर जी कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं। नीरज कपूर जी कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं। आप अपना माइक को अनम्यूट कीजिए, अपना माइक को अनम्यूट कीजिए। नीरज कपूर जी अपने माइक को अनम्यूट। यस सर, बोलिए।
आई एम अ फॉलोअर ऑफ बुद्धिज्म।
ओके
वी प्रैक्टिस।
पहले तो कपूर साहब का बहुत स्वागत है। एक लंबे समय के बाद आज मैं कपूर साहब को स्क्रीन पे देख रहा हूँ। For joining our any virtual session after a very long gap. Anyway, welcome Mr. Kapoor, and you are welcome to speak out, please.
Mr. Jain, I am a follower of Buddhism.
Okay.
We follow the philosophy of Buddhism that is called Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
Okay, great.
तो
कुछ कहना चाहेंगे बुद्धा की टीचिंग्स पे कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
I just wanted to ask one question with you. What is the measurement of the happiness, and how the happiness can be spread or to the community?
Yes. Measurement of happiness. If a human being wants to observe himself, check himself whether I am happy or not, so I have to see, I have to observe my mind, introspect my mind, that do I have emotions like मेरे को jealousy होती है, मेरे को frustration होता है, मेरे को resentment है, मेरे को इस तरह की feelings होती हैं। अगर जो मेरे को ये सब feeling हो रही है negative emotions की, तो सर मैं कपूर साहब, मेरे को नहीं लगता कि मैं एक happy person हूँ। एंड इफ मेरे को ये feelings नहीं होती हैं, मेरे को दूसरे की खुशी से खुशी मिलती है, मेरे को दूसरे के दुख से थोड़ा सैडनेस फील होती है, एंड I enjoy, if someone gets success, I rejoice. And
can I add something, Jain sahab?
Yeah, please.
I would like to say that it is human to have negative emotions, because we cannot live with the burden of always being happy. So it's human to have negative emotions, but how we bounce back from those emotions, it is more important. We are human, so we can have sorrow, we can be sad sometimes, we can have some negative feelings also. But when we are connected with spirituality and when we are connected with the divine force, we readily or quickly bounce back from those feelings. So it is my understanding that we all go through such negative feelings, one or the other in the lifetime. So we cannot be that Buddha, or everyone cannot learn that stage or that stage of consciousness to never experience negative emotions. So it is very human to have negative emotions, but there should be a bouncing back tendency, or I must say there should be a resilience within the person to bounce back from those negativities and turn to positivity. And it can be possible only when we are connected with some divine force or divinity or spirituality, I must say. Thank you.
या मैडम आपने सही कहा। एक्चुअली क्या है कि हम बुद्धा नहीं बन सकते, बट वी कैन हैव ए लेसर परसेंटेज. For example, that I can train my mind that I am least affected by those negative emotions. So I cannot achieve a 100% stage that मैं being a human मेरे अंदर वो emotions ही नहीं होंगे negativity के, परेशान होने के. But with the help of practice, with the help of yoga, meditation, positive affirmation, spirituality, I can develop a state of mind where I get least affected by those emotions. So I can measure my mind that मेरा mind 80% खुश रहता है, कि मेरा माइंड जो है 80% खुश रहता है. सो ठीक है, मैं मतलब बेटर हूँ, मेरे अंदर हैप्पीनेस है. तो 100% तो थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. ऑफ कोर्स आपने सही कहा. या मिस्टर कपूर, आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे?
I want to add on one thing. Like it is a continuous process, and the process, it is a continuous process. The happiness cannot be achieved in one day. It's a continuous process, and the process should continue on.
Very right. आप तो बुद्धिज्म, very right. आप तो बुद्धिज्म,
whether it's meditation, whether it's chanting, whether it's anything, whether in any form, it's a continuous process, and the happiness cannot be achieved in one day.
वेरी राइट सर, वेरी राइट. और जैसे आपने कहा कि बुद्धिज्म को आप फॉलो करते हैं, तो बुद्धा की तो डेफिनेशन ही, एनलाइटनमेंट की डेफिनेशन बुद्धा की ये है कि एंड ऑफ सफरिंग्स, कि ही वाज एबल टू अटेन ए स्टेट ऑफ माइंड दैट ही हैज नो सफरिंग्स. दैट्स व्हाई हिज फेस, उनका जो फेस था, इट वाज शाइनिंग. सो everyone can strive towards achieving that stage. It may be percentage wise, one has been able to attain 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, 60%. Yes, any other questions? Sir, we can close down.
I think, Jan Sahab, it has been wonderful. I'm really grateful to you.
Okay.
And I'll request Professor Manju Agarwal, a senior professor from psychology. She is joining us from Amity University. For her closing remarks. Over to Professor Manju Agarwal, please.
I want to add one more thing.
Thank you, Mr. Pradhan, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really grateful to you and LMA. And thank you, Mr. Jan, for giving very, very informative lecture where you did mention a lot of issues about forgiveness, purpose of life, happiness, controlling of mind, and affirmations, meditation, yoga. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Pradhan and Mr. Kapoor for clarifying a lot of further issues, like religious versus spiritual, or it is very clearly stated here that happiness is a state of mind, and it is relatively independent from your possessions and the kind of financial state that you are in. But definitely, if we follow the model of Maslow, he does talk about that you need to satisfy, as Mr. Saxena was saying, that you need to satisfy your basic needs first. And then only you go to other higher needs of self-esteem and happiness and satisfying your potentials. So to some extent, Mr. Saxena, you are absolutely right. But at the same time, we do need to accept that it is a state of mind and not so much one-to-one correlation with your possessions. Secondly, I would like to emphasize that what Mr. Kapoor was asking about measurement of happiness. Yes, of course, there are measures of happiness. And even I have developed a scale of positive life orientation. It's a very small scale. And if you want, you send me a personal message, I'll send it to you, where you try to understand. It's a standardized scale where you try to understand with very small questions as to in what state you are, and then you can work upon that. Mr. Jan, you did talk about, actually, when you were talking about so many factors, I was reminded of Parma model of Seligman, where he does talk about purpose of life, giving meaning, and being meaningfully engaged. So these are very, very important concepts of happiness. And there are also physiological models of happiness. We do agree that positive affirmations are important. We do agree that meditation can help you to release your regrets, and forgiveness and gratefulness do help. At the same time, a lot of times, Ayush, as you said, that you are full of regret and all that. I think a lot of times you do also need professional help to release all these things, because everything is not possible doing yourself to
Very right.
yourself. You can
Very
a
right.
lot of things
Yes,
you can do
yes.
to others, but not to yourself. Even
Yes.
for example,
Yes.
a lot of psychologists do go for seeking some, just like you go to, if you have a small fever, you take paracetamol. But if your fever is not going down for 5 days, you would like to consult a professional. So it's okay to go to, and let's be out of that stigma that no, if I can't have a control over mine, that means I'm weak. I think we have to get over that stigma.
Very
And
right.
it is not so much about controlling your mind, but rather understanding your mind. Understand your mind, and whatever the techniques Mr. Jan has mentioned, I mean, do practice them, but still do understand what all you can do yourself, and when all you need to go outside. And there was a case where a 24-year-old boy was suffering with pain and fever, and he had gone through all CT scan, the entire body PET scan, spent lakhs of rupees. And fortunately, somebody referred him to me. And in 5 sessions of hypnotherapy, he was totally cured. So there was something deeply hidden which he could also not understand himself. And he is
Very
a
right.
happy and chubby boy, a bubbly boy. So I think we need to understand our mind, we need to understand our body. And one thing that I would like to emphasize as a concluding remark, and I would end with that before anything comes to our body, a lot of things come to our thoughts, a lot emotional, it's called emotional body, physical body, thought body. I mean, everything comes to your thought body, emotion body, feeling body first, and then comes to your physical body. So the realization at the physical level is much later than at the emotional and feeling level. And we need to work there for happiness first. And then I think we will remain very happy and healthy, and do continue practicing whatever Mr. Jan has suggested. And thank you very much, Mr. Jan, for mentioning.
Thank you.
And I think you have actually given a lot of techniques, and each of them require 1 hour. So thanks a lot, Mr. Jan,
Thank you,
and thanks,
madam.
Madhurima, for your comments also. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
Mr.
Thank you.
Pradhan,
Thank
for
you, madam.
giving me this opportunity.
You have summarized very well. I really good. You and
Thank you very
Madam
much.
Madhurima.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you very much, one and all. I once again
Thank
thank
you,
everyone
thank
and
you.
all.
Thank you.
Please take care and stay safe. Bye. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks to all.
Take care and stay safe, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.